So back in I'll say 2016, I watched this anime called Tokyo Ghoul. You might have heard about it. This anime, Tokyo Ghoul, is the show I will always credit for getting me into anime. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but Tokyo Ghoul did it regardless. When I was around 11 years old, young Jugo Young if you will, I found Tokyo Ghoul on Netflix, and to be honest, it caught me off guard. I'd always scrolled past it assuming it was a horror or something like that, and it kind of was, but when I eventually decided to watch it, it was fucking amazing. Maybe it was because the only anime I'd seen was Beyblade, Pokemon, and Bakugan, and also Digimon Data Squad, the best anime ever to exist. But anyway, the first episode of Tokyo Ghoul hit me like a truck. So a guy named Kaneki takes his girl out on a date, but what he doesn't know is that the girl is a ghoul, a human monster hybrid thing that eats people. A bunch of shit happens on the date and she ends up dying and he's injured, so they do an organ transplant with her organs and that ends up making him a ghoul. But he's not, he's a half ghoul. And now he can't fucking eat burgers like he used to, he can only eat people and coffee. And then he meets these niggas. Oh man. And a whole lot more shit happens. There was a bunch of other ghouls, all of them had cool hair, ghoul wars, ghoul gangs, Kaneki got tortured and his hair turned white. Oh my days, his hair turned white. All this is to say is that Tokyo Ghoul is a W show. Everything about it was on point and it just made me fuck with it heavy. So when I finished it and Kaneki had white hair and whoever was dead and whatever, all I know is that I had to look for the next season. And I did. And it wasn't really what I expected. So I'm sorry to people who haven't read the anime or watched the manga. Wait, what the f? But it's kind of hard for me to do this video without talking about spoilers, so just beware. I'm just gonna tell you what happened to Route A and why it was fucking So when season 2 of Tokyo Ghoul was being created, the author of the manga Sui Yoshida wanted the anime to be different from the manga. There were a few minor changes that could have been retconned or just straight up forgotten about, but there were two specific changes that really fucked up everything. In the anime, Kaneki's best friend dies in his arms, but in the manga, the nigga is still alive and well. He's still alive to be fair. And the second change is that in the anime, Kaneki joins the, however you pronounce this, Tree Ghoul organization. But in the manga, Kaneki forms his own group after being tortured by someone in the Tree Ghoul organization. That's a pretty big difference. Those are two really big fucking changes. The difference between Kaneki making his own group and him joining a different group that could be blamed for his torture is fucking crazy. And killing off a major character, a character that could be seen as responsible for a lot of Kaneki's actions, is also pretty fucking crazy. And on top of that, other major plot points were left out as well, which ended up very negatively affecting Tokyo Ghoul Re, the third season of Tokyo Ghoul. Okay, look, I'm gonna break it down and explain why this shit just couldn't have ended well, and I'm gonna do it by comparing it to Full Metal Alchemist, the 2003 anime. See, FMA 2003 was made while the manga was still running, but unlike Tokyo Ghoul, from the beginning it was obvious that the plot was gonna be very different. Season 1 of Tokyo Ghoul was basically a one-for-one adaptation of the manga, so it was bound to be shit when they just ignored everything they built up and foreshadowed to just drop it or change it in Season 2. But with FMA, they knew from early that it couldn't be a one-for-one adaptation, so from the beginning they were planning on making it different. So they adapted accordingly by changing certain moments or introducing new characters early on in the anime. But by season 2 of Tokyo Ghoul, it was too late to change so many important things. And I think the biggest casualty of doing this in season 2 was how it resulted in season 3 making absolutely no sense. The amount of explanation videos that came out back in 2018 was crazy. The degree to which Tokyo Ghoul Re suffered because of Route A is indescribable, and overall, anime only watchers were just taking back-to-back L's. For me personally, 12/13-year-old me, Route A ruined Tokyo Ghoul for me. It confused the fuck out of me as a kid, and even as a dumbass kid I could notice that something was off and a lot of things were missing. And once Tokyo Re came out, it only got worse. Oh my god, the first day of Tokyo Ghoul Re ruined my day. The mixture of confusion, disappointment, and annoyance all resulted in me dropping Tokyo Ghoul. It was only recently, summer of last year, that I actually decided to rewatch and finish all 3, or technically 4 seasons of Tokyo Ghoul. Those being Tokyo Ghoul, Tokyo Ghoul Route A, Tokyo Ghoul Re, and Tokyo Ghoul Re 2. And my verdict on the series overall? Underwhelming and disappointing. There were moments where the real story and plot of Tokyo Ghoul came out, and those had to be some of the best parts of the show, but those were so infrequent, and everything apart from that was just so lackluster. One last thing I'll say in defense of Route A is that the opening theme does not get enough credit. It's not as catchy or vibrant as Unravel or Asphyxia, or the fuck you pronounce that, but the meaning behind the lyrics and the simple but kinda deep visuals really caught me off guard. But yeah, I'm gonna read the manga and I encourage you guys to do the same. If you like my segment on FMA, then you're in luck because I'm working on a video comparing the two animes. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah, and also maybe if you're smart, you would have just assumed this, but my theory, or I think just the proper reason that it's called Route A is that it's like one route is the fucking manga version, but this route is Route A, the anime version. Like A for anime, or fucking, I don't know, A for Ayaguri tree, or however the fuck you pronounce that. Yeah, that's my theory. But who cares? Once again, this was Jugo Young, and I'll see you guys next time. Remember to like and subscribe. Fucking peace.